The MTA is committed to providing you the best in transit, and we're interested in your thoughts about MTA service. That's why we feature a segment called Ask the MTA. And on each Ask the MTA, we give you an opportunity to ask MTA personnel questions you have concerning transit. And here to answer your customer questions is MTA Director of Metro Operations, Jason Lurs. Well, we recently took to the streets for your questions, and here's our first one.
My name is Dante. I'm from East Baltimore, and I would like to know if we can get some AC under the station.
So Jason, here we go. We have a lot of folks who often ask, what's going on? It's too hot in the station, it's too cold in the station. What's the real deal with this?
Yes, Joe, this is a commonly asked questions of our patrons. Studies in the past have been conducted to support the activation of an air conditioning system within the metro stations. However, the initial cost of installation and the energy cost, the yearly energy cost, it makes this project cost prohibitive. However, we do have 136 40 to 50 horsepower fans in the stations.
So it kind of keeps the air circulating.
Yeah, that are activated and set on temperature control settings. They keep the air circulating throughout the stations.
Yeah, and then some of the stations, they're open stations, like at Owens Mills and other places. Those are like open areas, so there's like this whole vortex of air kind of blowing through.
Yes, that also helps us out too with the piston action of the trains. The trains actually move air through the stations themselves. So.
Oh, that's right. So when they're going through the tunnel, they kind of like suck air.
Yeah, nice cool breeze when the train's coming. So, yes.
Alrighty, and our next question.
Okay, my name is Robert Smith, and I'm from Northeast Baltimore. My question is, if I'm on the number 13 bus and I'm going east to get off on like Greenmount and North Avenue, why does the number 13 drop me in the middle of the block on North Avenue? I have to run all the way back to Greenmount. And by that time, the number 8 bus going north done passed me, done left me. Why can't the bus stop right there at the corner?
So we have questions about the stops related to 13. I mean, that's kind of a hard question if you think about it.
Yeah, this is a common problem with a lot of stops, not just inherent to the Greenmount and North Avenue. There are several considerations and variables that are factored into the placement of all MTA bus stops. However, at this specific location, some of the variables included the Baltimore City Transportation Department, Department of Transportation, due to the proximity of the bus stop close to this major intersection, Greenmount and North Avenue.
Yeah, that is a big intersection.
They had to push it back to prevent gridlock and backups from the buses stopping other traffic.
Yeah, because right there it's widened like a little place, and I know that the 8 comes down like up and down Greenmount, and you have to pull in a little bit, and in fact the road widens so that the buses can pull in there. So I think it's probably safety. There are a number of different factors that influence that.
Yes.
It's not just to inconvenience the customer, it's actually kind of to keep them safe.
Yes.
Alrighty, and our next question?
My name is Marshawn Young. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I use the Penn North subway station stop. And my question to the MTA is, why don't you guys provide electrical sockets on the train and on the stations? Because nowadays most people use electrical gadgets and run out of charging time, so that would be really convenient.
So we have customer asking about charging station.
Joe, as you're aware, Metro is always trying to find and research and find better ways to accommodate our patronage.
Right.
And this is an excellent idea.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've been in the subway system or in various locations and my phone lost charge. And it always happens when you really need it.
Yeah.
So this is something that definitely Metro will look into. However, there's a couple other departments, safety and engineering, have to weigh in on deciding this and the specific locations. So it is something we'll look into.
Okay, that's a good answer. And our next question?
My name is C.J. Winan from Randallstown, Maryland. Simple question. Why do trains run so sporadically, especially when you're trying to get home?
It's very interesting because sporadic, it's kind of hard to say without a specific time frame. Are there certain times a day that Metro changed the schedule, or we run maybe on a less frequent schedule?
No, the schedules have been set. Metro maintains or tries to maintain in line with the schedule, keep the patrons or get to the patrons to wherever they need to go. However, during our peak periods, when we have the most trains on the line, any delay affects the whole line drastically.
Right.
So one little delay, either far or near that patron's location,
it has like a ripple effect.
Yeah, it cascades to others. So, and it's not like we can pull over to the side of the road and let another train pass. We're kind of all stuck into the same loop.
Yeah.
So, we try to maintain our schedule, and as we pointed out before.
And as you said, what's your on-time performance rate for that?
Yeah, as we pointed out before, our on-time performance is about 97%.
So that's great. All righty. And our next question?
My name is Shayna, and I'm from Timonium, Maryland. And question is, why is it that when one thing goes wrong, like the heat or construction, the whole system kind of shuts down?
You know, this is very similar to the other thing, that when something happens, it has kind of a ripple effect. So what can you tell us about what you guys do when you have situations with Metro?
This is kind of a Murphy's Law kind of a thing. That, I mean, obviously, with a 30-year-old system, it requires a lot of maintenance, and the maintenance is scheduled as where to not impact the patrons. However, it does have to happen, and it just seems that if you're on the train, we have a delay. Next thing you know, the air conditioning system doesn't work or is not working to the patron's liking. So it's just one event, on top of another that, we're trying to get the track back in order, keeping up with the annual maintenance. And hopefully our patronage will see less delays. And they'll see improvements. A lot of the things we're doing are for safety reasons, certainly for customer service, but every once in a while with anything, you're going to have a few bumps in the road, right? Yes. Well, not bumps in a track. Alrighty, and our next and last question is one we received by email from Joan Sellers of Milford Mill. And Joan writes, I ride Metro to Hopkins Station each day. And when I look down the tracks at the other end of the Hopkins Station, there appears to be a good distance of track remaining well past the end of the station. Is there another unused Hopkins Station stop or a facility well past the end of where we ride out at that location? So what's the secret? Is there a secret cavern or, some other thing at the end of that Metro platform that you want to tell us about? I wish there was another station. I wish there was 27 stations in the Metro subway system. However, no, that's we call it a terminus. That's the tail track for Johns Hopkins. That's where we store trains for emergencies. In foul weather, we try to have the majority of our trains underground, so we store trains in the tail track. We also store track maintenance equipment. And there has been rumors that there is a piece of equipment buried behind that brick wall. Well, we don't know. So it's not a secret bomb shelter, because I was trying to look for a place where I could go and hide out. No. Well, thank you so much, Jason. You are a wealth of information. You have to come back, because I know there's always something interesting going on at Metro. And my compliments. I drove by the Reisterstown station one night. It's just incredibly beautiful. You do a wonderful job. So thank you so much. And Charles Center, too. Yes. So incredibly beautiful. So you come back and keep us informed about all this great stuff that you're doing at Metro. I mean, it's just great. I certainly will. Thank you. And if you have questions you'd like to ask the MTA, visit the MTA television show link at mta.maryland.gov or drop us a line or check us out on Facebook or Twitter. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Take care.